Hi, hey, and all those other greetings, Spade adventurers. Welcome back to another video on SpadeGalzProductions gaming and unboxing channel. I am Master Spins, the creator and owner of this channel, as well as SpadeGalzOriginal, which has vlogs, Gorilla Cyclones, Quincore, and Florali. So, it has been Thanksgiving week. Now it is Thanksgiving weekend. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section below. However, the thing is, we are going to be having a siblings weekend, so probably not going to be a Forces video today in the playthrough. So hopefully that doesn't bother you guys too much. But there will be Forces content with this video. Also, got a nice little haircut, which you guys won't see in the Forces LP for the next few episodes, which is like 8, 9, and 10, and then a lot of Odyssey. So don't expect the haircut and that stuff. And I've been trying to do this video so long that the lighting outside has changed. So hopefully that doesn't bother you guys anyway. But what we are going to be doing is what was supposed to be in the Sonic Forces unboxing today, or not today, but back then anyway, and I'm jumbling my words because I'm trying to speak too fast and trying to rush when I shouldn't be, but ow. We got this in the mail the other day. See what I'm talking about? I'm trying to rush myself. There we go. Okay, hopefully we're all fresh. Splatoon update came out, so hopefully it just like came through into my brain and my movement, and now I can be fresh too. But anyway, that was a weird thing to say. We have the Sonic Forces Tomy figure pack right here, which has Knuckles right here, leader, Classic Sonic, Sonic, and Tails as well. So let's get this unboxed. As well, I mentioned in the box art video, the character is different. You know, he's that like random different color with the frenzy wisp on. I'm not sure exactly why it's that, but maybe there's a reason. I mean, this one is probably just being accurate to the actual box art to the game. Now, one weird thing about Tomy that I find is that in all of their figures, they use tape to hold this closed. Now, in the Jazzware figures, which I didn't unbox any of those just because I didn't do unboxings or YouTube when I had those, so I didn't really get to show those off, but they're like the Amiibo, where it's the bubble package. Whereas this is a lot better packaging than the Sonic Boom figures. But if you guys remember in a few videos that I did with the Sonic Boom figure unboxings, they just had tape holding it together, and I don't like that. It's not, like, maybe it saves measure. Aw, dang it. Like a cost-saving measure, and I ripped the stupid box because it's held by tape. Like, come on. There's no reason for this stupid tape, and now I'm upset. Now I'm upset because I ripped it, and I mean, not that it really matters all that much because it's not going to be like, you know, I'm not planning on selling it, but it sucks. It sucks that I just ripped it. It's like when I think I ripped the Mania box a little bit too, which it's annoying. It frustrates me as a collector because, you know, well, I'm not a big collector, so it's not too big of a deal, but it's always frustrating. I know there's going to be that one person or a few people out there that are going to agree with me that it's really annoying when you're trying to do something and you accidentally just rip the box. And now that I think about it, I only had to get one end, so I should have just gotten the left end open. Come on. But even though the box is nice, that is not the focus here. And I'm just going to bloop. I'm going to put that back together. I'll tape that rip. It'll be, we could call it some official work. And then we have some stuff right here. I've opened it, so, you know, it's all cool. And more Scotch tape. Look at this. Guys, look at this. I'm sorry, I just wanted to try not to rip the box. I don't care about the plastic part. There we go. So we can just plop that right open and plop that off, and woohoo! Look at that. That can be your guys' new filter of me. It can be like a nice little bubble. I mean, it actually looks kind of cool. I'm going to leave that there for a second while I get these figures out. So I'm going to start off with the biggest figure, getting him out, which is Knuckles. And we're going to get out or all of them, actually. All right, so here's the interesting thing. Now, Tomy could have made new figures, but I'm glad I didn't get the other, like, Tomy figures, because they did remake, or they didn't remake Sonic or Classic Sonic. These are actually re-releases from their past figures, I believe. So I will be going over these. I'll go over Tails last, and I'll tell you why later. But let's go over the smallest figure first. Classic Sonic, then Modern Sonic, then we can go Knuckles, and then Tails. So, one thing about Tomy, like the Tomy figures, is that unlike Jazzware, which hopefully this makes them less breakable, because Jazzware, as nice as the presentation was, and as nice as the boxes were, the figures, they had too many joints. And this led to a very big problem where the joints could easily break or fall off. And I know a lot of people enjoy the posing stuff, but it breaks too easily. So I'm hoping that this fixes the problem. It doesn't look like for Classic Sonic, because he is so small, it doesn't look like you can move him around too much. Even his legs can't really be separated. So he doesn't look poseable at all, and he does look a bit fragile. So hopefully he doesn't break. But here is a look through the plastic at Classic Sonic. And here is a look without the plastic. So it doesn't really matter. But Classic Sonic is how you'd expect any Classic Sonic to look. Being that he has, he has his spikes, he has his little ears, he's the lighter color. Honestly, the stomach could probably be a little bit lighter, but I feel like in general, decent Classic Sonic. Now let's go over to my man, Modern Sonic. Now the thing I like about this figure is it reminds me so much of the Sonic Adventure era Sonic. That is super, super cool. And it reminds me of like that kind of figure, which, I mean, I didn't really have them, but I saw Pat Mac's videos on them, which was pretty interesting. And let me just lift this plastic a little bit. Here, there we go. The joke was fun enough while it lasted. Okay, but here we go. We have he's actually very, very blue in this version. It is not just the camera deceiving you. He is extremely blue. And the interesting thing is he has knees. His knees and elbows are bent, but they are not separate joints. And as I said, that's going to be so much nicer. It's going to be beautiful. He also has holes on the shoes. Okay, interesting thing is that he doesn't have bottom of the shoe detail, and none of them do, which is really interesting. Kind of sad, because that was one nice thing about the Jazzware. I'm sorry that I keep comparing the two, but that's what I have to go off of it. But the Jazzware ones had like nice little detail on the shoes. So, little bit less flavor, but it's not bad. And that's where they have all the Tomy. Oh, it was made in Vietnam. Okay. Well, that's also interesting. So it looks like proportion-wise, Sonic is pretty decent. They've got a lot down. You can't move his fists or anything. But again, that's fine, because I've never been one to really pose. And it doesn't look like you can really move his head either. So if you want this for posing purposes or, for stop motion, maybe not the best in terms of movement. Durability-wise, though, I'd say this is a pretty decent from what I can tell. If any of that changes, I will let you guys know in the description or the comments. Okay, so let's move on to the rest of him, which would be the muzzle. You can't really see the mouth that much, because unlike Classic Sonic, it's more of just a small indent, and it's not really anything. So far, I'd say the best feature on this figure, other than like how he's structured, is the eyes. Like, you can't really see it on here, but the eyes are actually extremely shiny, which I think it's the only figure in here in this pack with that defined choice. As well, the leg part is more like the Sonic Boom joint for Tomy's figures, so you know, it's not too bad. The spikes aren't too sharp either. So that's Sonic for you. And then we have Knuckles. Knock, knock, it's Knuckles. And I'm back. I've been away for a while. Okay. I just combined, like, the Knuckles rap and then Wild Canyon. I don't know why. But let's look at Knuckles really quickly. So out of all of these figures so far, I'd say I really like Knuckles. I didn't even have to unbox this to see Knuckles is an amazing looking figure so far in this pack. Now, of course, for Knuckles, the hands, because he has the boxing gloves and the little bit of spikes, his hands are going to be a lot bigger. And his hand is actually bigger than Sonic's face. Not to mention, he's the biggest figure in the pack, I think probably because of his fists, and he is a little bit older than Sonic as well. He's got his nice little Legos. They aren't too pronounced, but I like that. It's very simplistic, but it's very nice. It has a very smooth look. Now, another thing is you can see a lot of the creases in there. I don't know if that's intended, but it's at kind of a weird spot for it. So I'm thinking that maybe that was a part of the actual processing, or that's like where the template was and then they added to it and it just kind of looked weird. But it's fine. So Knuckles has a lot more lines than the other characters, but he has a lot less detail, so he can be a bigger size. He also has his nice little crest. The paint job, in my opinion, is really good. The muzzle, correct color, correct red. The head structure's correct. My bad. The tail is really nice. The way they did the spines down is really nice. And his eyes also have the small glaze that Sonic does, but not as good. And he also has the purple, which the purple could be probably a little lighter. But in general, I think this is a really good representation of Knuckles. However, I feel like if you want to do stop motion, again, definitely not going to work for this Knuckles. He's not very posable, and he's not very movable, especially compared to Sonic. Like, he's less movable than the Sonic one. But still good figure. So let's go on to Tails. So a few distinctions I don't like about Tails. Now, I like Tails as a character, but I feel like they kind of goofed up a lot on this figure, and I'm not the only one who feels this way. Now, one thing I liked a lot about the Jazzware, again, I'm going back to Jazzware, but you could move the tails. They might have been connected, but you could actually spin the tails around. That's a really cool detail. For Tails, you can't. But there's a lot bigger problems I have with this figure. And the reason I wanted to show him last is because it's weird. Now, the face, you know, it's not the best face for Tails, but it's not too bad. The hand positions aren't too bad either. You know, you can really, you know, that makes him very posable. However, what I would like to mention about this Tails, I don't think you can even, you cannot move Tails' head either. So the only movements are from the arms and the legs. The problem I have with this figure is if you look at the other figures, you know, they're decent size. They can get away with this. Tails, you can't do if you're making him this size. Classic Sonic should not be bigger than Tails. I'm going to tell you that right now. His ears, they're nice and big. Now, the hair for him, for this proportion, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for Tails in this proportion. On a normal proportion tails, that would be perfect. But it's not a normal proportion tails. The eyes are nice, and, you know, the muzzle's nice, but the body, it's not the right color. That's a weird tan, and that's not even the same tan as any of the other characters. Because if you look, it's like this gross little mucky tan. And I don't know if they accidentally like mixed paints or what happened with that. But again, not my biggest problem with this figure. My biggest problem with this figure is in the torso. It looks really weird. And I'm going to tell you why. I found this out not too long ago with this figure, is that I looked at it and I was trying to figure out why it looked so weird. The legs are right where the stomach, the ribs are, and right above the legs is the armpit. There's no room for a physical body. And looking far away, yeah, it looks fine, but looking close up to it, it looks really awful. It's just not a good Tails figure. As I'm moving it around, this leg is loose, and for some reason, this leg is bent, this leg is straight, and I don't know why that is. And it doesn't look like they're really that close in length. And if you guys want a comparison, the figures are right over here. So I'm going to show you guys, this is Jazzware Tails, okay? This is one of Jazzware's Tails figures around the same size. I'll give you a size comparison. Look. Same size as Sonic. Looks good with this set. Now, he looks a lot more realistic, and this is Jazzware's interpretation, so you can move a lot more stuff. Now, I want you to look very closely. You can even move his waist, too. I want you to look very closely at this. Which figure would you rather have? Jazzware or Tomy's? You're gonna pick Jazzware because this Tomy's just isn't good for Tails. And that's so upsetting, because if it wasn't for this specific Tails figure, this would be such a great set. But it's not. I feel like they should have gone for another character. They should have gone with one of the villains. They should have gone with Infinite or Metal Sonic or Shadow or Zavok, or gotten the proportions right for Tails. They already had the two Sonics, which is great. They had to make Knuckles, but they did a fantastic job with this Knuckles figure. It's amazing. But Classic Sonic's kind of an average figure in this set. I think he's a little too small. But Tails should not be around the same size as Classic Sonic. It doesn't work for a figure this small. And I'm sorry to say that. If they were a bit bigger, you could have gotten away with it. But they're not. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you guys like the Tails, but I just can't get past that. But anyway, that's been the Sonic Forces figure unboxing. We went over 4 figures. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I almost forgot. Look at me. I'm just ranting about Tails all over the place. That I forgot about this little gem, which included into the figure pack was some some artwork. So let's open that really quickly. Okay, come on, open up. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, come on, gotta get this out. Come on. Hang on. Got kind of stuck. Okay. Okay, come on. The plastic is like a little too small for this. Like, what the heck? Tomy, like, why? There's no reason to have it that thick, like, or that small, I mean. Like, you could have made it an inch bigger. And I'm sorry that this video is a bit longer for this series, but... Okay, so let's see here. What do we got here? There's stuff in here. I want you to know there is stuff in here. I'm trying to pull it out. Why is it not coming? There we go. There we go. Ooh, that's actually really nice. So this is like the concept art. That's really cool. Oh man, look at that. Wow, that's Green Hills on. That looks amazing. And here you have the custom hero. Man. And then with the death egg in the background, I believe that's even like the Generations concept of it. Like, look, that one's really cool. That one's from the pyramid where you run with the custom hero and Sonic. And then this was actually, I'm not sure if the other ones were used, but this was used in the YouTube video, one of the YouTube videos for the background of the music. So that's really, really cool. Okay, I'll give them a little more points. I'll give them a little more points for that. I almost forgot they did that. But, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, share with everybody you know and love, and hopefully I see you guys back here. Share with your brother, mother, sister, everybody, your iguana, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye! Knock, knock, it's Knuckles.